I'm pretty sure Obi-Wan would say this is the show you're looking for. Hello everyone and welcome to For These Are My Thoughts. I'm your host Blake. On today's episode we are going to go over what For These Are My Thoughts is, what it isn't, how it's going to work, and what I hope it can become, and then introduce myself a little bit. But first, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your routine to watch or listen at this point. We all have routines, whether that is a morning routine, a daily routine, pre-game routine, something else. We all have one. And hopefully For These Are My Thoughts can become a part of your routine moving forward. And that is the ultimate goal of For These Are My Thoughts, to become part of your routine moving forward. And this is kind of why. Today we are super busy. We're always on the move, it seems. Even when we think we aren't, we are always doing something. That might be watching TV, binging a TV show or movie or something. That might be talking with people, texting, hanging out with people, watching YouTube, hanging out on social media, going to sporting events, going to concerts, doing all that stuff. And that's just the way we live. That's not necessarily an awful thing or a bad thing. It's not a great thing. The goal is that For These Are My Thoughts will provide you a time to unwind, relax, laugh, and think as the guests that will be on for the show and myself share funny stories, thoughts, opinions, lists, and more. For These Are My Thoughts is going to be a conversational or interview style show with anyone and everyone. And I guess on a more personal note, that unwind, relax, and laugh part is so important to me because I know that life at times can be stressful. And I kind of want to provide you a place where you can de-stress, if that's a word, if that's a term we can use. I want this to be a place where you can laugh and de-stress. Hopefully you will either laugh with whoever's on the show or with myself, or maybe you'll just laugh at us, and that's okay too. That's basically the goal of the show, is to make you laugh. There will be times, and so another goal of the show is to make you think a little bit. Not a lot, not all the time, not in every episode, but every now and then the goal will be to kind of make you think. There may be some episodes that are a little deeper than others, and hopefully that's all right. But this is a safe place where we can talk about some unsafe topics, and we may do that from time to time. But first and foremost, this is going to be a fun time. For These Are My Thoughts is going to feature guests in hopefully every episode. I have lots of great conversations lined up for you already, which is super exciting. And the plan is to continue talking with people, to continue having conversations and telling funny stories and opinions and doing different things. And there will be recurring guests that you will get used to, but I'm also going to be looking to branch out and talk to more people and different people. If you have a suggestion of a topic or a suggestion of a person to chat with, go ahead and drop it in the comments section. However, there may be the odd episode like today where it's just myself, but don't worry, those won't be some kind of nutjob Alex Jones style Rush Limbaugh rant. That's not what this is going to be. This is going to be a fun time. I'm going to hopefully share funny stories and funny opinions. So For These Are My Thoughts is going to be posted, as you can see or hear, on YouTube and SoundCloud. And the reason for that is I want this to be as interactive as possible. Both SoundCloud and YouTube allow for you to like the video, to follow or subscribe, and to leave a comment, which is super awesome and the most important for me. I want you to share your thoughts and comments during episodes in the comment section. If you plan on listening while driving, SoundCloud is probably your best option. And if you're watching or listening on YouTube, you can probably see that you can't see me. You only see the main logo of For These Are My Thoughts. And that is because right now I don't quite have the ability to record video. But hopefully in the future, this can become like an actual video show where you'll be able to see me and my guests, and we can do some more interactive things that way. So again, episodes are going to be me sitting down with people and chatting. Some of the episodes will be me sharing stories. Others will be sharing opinions in fun ways, or top 10 lists, or taste tests, or food reviews, reviews of sports. Episodes will typically have a central focus, which cover topics like I have already mentioned, like movies, sports, music, pop culture, and more. Episodes are going to be shorter than your typical, podcast. They're going to be about 20 to 30 minutes long, and hopefully that will be enough time for you to rest and recharge before going hard in the paint once again, like Shaquille O'Neal back in the early 90s. Really quick, new episodes will come out on Sundays, so make sure to follow or subscribe so that you never miss an episode. So enough about what the show will be. Let's talk a little bit about me, the narcissist. No, just kidding. I would not classify myself as a narcissist. But to give you a little bit of a taste of what's to come, I've kind of thought through an introduction to myself and some funny stories that hopefully will be funny for you to laugh at. And I guess this might be more laughing at me than with me. Anyways, I know that a lot of people that are watching are going to be friends and family at first, and that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Without you, this would never even get started. I want to give specific shout outs to my wife, Hannah, who is basically an enabler and has set me up to do this. I also want to thank one of my closest friends, Josh Corollas, otherwise known as Wildfire Starship, for the use of one of his songs. You can listen to his music on SoundCloud as well if you look up Wildfire Starship. It's pretty cool. But thank you all for taking the time to listen to the show. For those that don't know me, or maybe this has been shared on someone else's social media accounts or something, I'm Blake, and it's nice to meet you. I hail from the North Woods of Wisconsin, where it seems to always be winter and summer and fall for about 3 weeks. I am the third of 6 children. I have 2 older siblings and 3 younger siblings. But for around the first 11 to 12 years of my life, I was the youngest. One of the weird things about my family is my siblings and I all have the same first letter of our first name, and that letter would be the letter B. So it's Burgundy, Brandon, Blake, Brennan, Brady, and Braden. Growing up, I used to play a lot of Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I used to play a lot of Star Wars with my brother in our yard, and we would ride bikes a lot. We were your classic late 90s, early 2000s kids, where we ran around outside, played with our Neopets inside, and it was a good time. And from that decade, I guess 11 to 12 years of being the baby of the family, I can say that I have grown up with characteristics of being the youngest child. Played a lot of sports growing up. Football, basketball, baseball are kind of the tent poles of my family growing up. But anyways, now I'm married to my wife Hannah, who you'll meet in episodes. There is one that is already recorded that will come out soon that I'm really looking forward to. The two of us, we love going on hikes and being active, but we also love watching The Office. But sports are a big deal to me, not necessarily to Hannah, but they are to me. And so growing up, again, I thought that I could legitimately be Brett Favre. Like, there were 2 things I wanted to be growing up. I wanted to be either a gym teacher or Brett Favre, and neither of those 2 things happened. So like I said, I honestly thought as a kid growing up until about 6th grade, which is a little embarrassing, but that is about the time I realized that I couldn't do what I'm about to tell you. But growing up, I thought that I could legitimately be Brett Favre. I thought that I could go to college, play quarterback in college, be drafted by the Packers, and I would get the number 4, and that by being number 4 on the Green Bay Packers would make me Brett Favre. I would no longer be Blake Brockman. I would be Brett Favre from Southern Mississippi. And like I said, I didn't learn that I couldn't do that until I was in the 6th grade, which is a little embarrassing. That's when it was kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Like, if I become a Packer, and clearly that didn't happen anyways, but if I would have became a Packer, I definitely wouldn't have been Brett Favre. It would have been Blake Brockman. That story is a little silly and a little funny, but that's the point. Hopefully you're able to laugh along with me today. Thank you so much again for listening. I hope that this can become part of your weekly routine. As we close the episode, I always want to give either myself or a guest time to give one recommendation. And so my recommendation for today is Wildfire Starship. My friend Josh. Go ahead and give him a listen on SoundCloud. He does a great job. He made the music for These Are My Thoughts, so thank you again, Josh. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. You can follow me on Twitter at BlakeBrockman33. Until next time, these are my thoughts. We'll see you soon.